Welcome to the City of Maple Grove Report. I'm Dave Kaiser from CCX Media. Thanks for joining us, along with Heidi Nelson, Maple Grove City Administrator. Welcome once again.
Thank you.
We are recording this the day after Election Day, so we'll keep Heidi's eyes open here as we go through the process. A long night. We'll talk about the election in just a few minutes. We have the meeting from the 4th to talk about. That was all of 13 minutes and nothing from consent. And we jump right to the staff reports and some of the information there. And first in Community Economic Development, talking about the Planning Commission coming up. Looks like a busy meeting on the 12th.
Yeah, so we'll look forward to Planning Commission on the 12th. It moves to Tuesday because of the Veterans Day holiday next Monday. Couple of things, we've been working closely with Osseo Area Schools District 279 on some of their school projects. They passed that capital referendum a couple of years, or maybe 18 months ago now, a couple of years ago, and so they've been working on those capital plans, capital investment plans. So one is some expansion up at Maple Grove Senior High. That one might get pushed to the 25th of November. Still kind of working through some of those details there. But the new elementary school up in the northwest quadrant of Maple Grove, right off of Arbor Ridge Parkway, that will go forward here on November 12th. So lots of information out there will be out there in the packet about that new elementary school and what that might look and feel like up there. We do have a couple of zoning text amendments, one dealing with hours of operation for cannabis operations. There were some changes legislatively that allowed, for some hours to be set there. And then just formalizing some of our neighborhood meeting processes with when we have new subdivisions coming in, that kind of thing. So look for those zoning text amendments that night as well. And
then a little business news, some ribbon cuttings, grand openings. Who are we talking about?
Yeah, so MSI right out along 694, they're kind of that building closest to Lowe's. They do kind of a more of a wholesaler on flooring and countertops and different types of surfaces. International company, formerly based out of Plymouth, and they sort of centralized all their operations up here in this new building. So we'll be there on the 12th for a ribbon cutting, and then not a new building, but a new business, Top Line Credit Union over at the Fountains. So we'll be there later in the week for a ribbon cutting. And then we have the Chamber Gala, the I-94 West Chamber Gala, the evening of November 14th. So if you are, involved with the Chamber, I encourage you to come out for that evening to support the Chamber.
Very good. Next to Engineering and Public Works and a discussion about transit, Maple Grove and Plymouth doing a little talking. Give us some background here and what was decided.
Yeah, so this is an interesting one. Our new Public Works Director, Director of Public Works and Engineering, formerly served for Plymouth. And was in charge of transit there. And so prior to Chris coming to Maple Grove, we were having discussions with Chris in Plymouth about, maybe we should do more together and do kind of a study about, how each of our commuter services are going, and then where are there opportunities maybe for us to do more together on the microtransit front. We know that there's a demand, for broader microtransit up here in the northwest quadrant of the metro area. Plymouth and Maple Grove being big providers of that, and we both kind of go outside of our borders a little bit to serve our neighbors. And so then Chris came up here, and so we took a pause a little bit to let him get his feet underneath him, and then sort of reignited that discussion with Plymouth now to say, let's do some study together to see what we can do here. So really appreciate Chris's efforts and Michael Pat's to bring this study forward. I think it'll yield some good opportunities for our local residents. And then, I think we continue to monitor what's happening on the commuter front. Are more people going to be going back downtown? What's that going to look like? We certainly see, that has leveled off in terms of, new riders, that type of a thing. But more to come here as we take a look at all of those services jointly with Plymouth. But this is a good effort on behalf of both Maple Grove and Plymouth to come together.
One other note at the meeting related to transit, and that was some signage. Tell us about some new signs that might help some of the riders out.
Yeah, so we're doing some new digital signage, just updating that with some more real-time software. So both at the Main Street station and the Parkway station, just giving people rider updates and kind of timelines on buses, those types of things.
Your update was before the election, so you talked about all that was happening that night, but let's talk a little bit about what happened last night now as we record this on Wednesday.
Yeah, so Election big day yesterday for our staff and our team that puts the election on. I just want to extend sincere appreciation to Amy Dietl, our city clerk, and Brennan Sorensen, our deputy city clerk. Katrina Jones is also on our staff, full-time staff that really, even Nicole Steffen hops in from Passports, and Terry Odlin out of my office helps as well. So we have a core full-time staff that really makes the election happen, and then a group of election judges that we pull in early to help make absentee happen. We voted about 43% of registered voters prior to the election.
Very
interesting.
At
the
Is
government
that a new
center.
record?
I think it's real close with the last one, which that was more pandemic-y, so than the last presidential. So.
Right.
That trend continues to be very strong. So big effort here, and then of course, with Election Day, the final push over the finish line.
Yes.
But just want to extend our appreciation for all those who step up to serve to make, the election run smoothly here in Maple Grove. I think we came off without really any issues, and were able to accommodate all the voters how they needed to vote. And so great appreciation there. So in Maple Grove, we had 2 city council seats up with 2 members that'll be departing, Councilmember Judy Hansen and Councilmember Christy Barnett, not running again, leaving 2 open seats. And the voters in Maple Grove elected Mike Ostaffi and John McCullough. So we will be welcoming them here. We'll be starting with council orientation, getting them sort of oriented to, the operations and the services that we provide here so that they're able to hit the ground running come January 1. They will be sworn in at the first council meeting in 2025, and then they'll be serving 4-year terms that run through December 31, 2028. So we really appreciate everybody that filed for office this year and put an effort forward to run and get involved with their local government. And big congratulations to Mike and John as they join the council here in the coming weeks. So mentioned a little bit about absentee voting. We also registered a lot of new voters. That was a trend, hundreds every day kind of a thing. So it's been a big lift, and I know the election staff is happy today to have that in the books, and we're looking forward to getting them a break here as we head into the weekend. So again, thank you to everybody who helped out and making it happen, and we're looking forward to 2025.
And a couple final notes from the meeting. You mentioned the next step in the election process. There's one more step that has to be done. What is that?
Yeah, so we'll formally canvass the election on the morning of November 15th. Usually try to wait, that's kind of the last day that you can do it in Hennepin County, but just to make sure, all the numbers are in, everything's verified by Hennepin County before we do that. So 8:30 on the morning of November 15th, and the chambers will canvass this general election.
Very good. And final notes from the meeting on the 4th. You mentioned coming up Veterans Day. Closed for the government center, but a special event as well. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we partner with Beyond the Yellow Ribbon to put on this event over at Central Park at the Veterans Memorial. That'll be taking place at 11 a.m. on Veterans Day, Monday, November 11th. And then just a reminder, city offices will be closed that day. And then kind of a part of Veterans Day, Beyond the Yellow Ribbon is doing a donation drive. This is collecting special items to brighten the holidays for active duty service members around the world. Great. So they're looking for donations of socks, new packs of mid-calf brown, olive drab, or black socks.
Okay,
those might be a little bit harder to find. Beef jerky or protein sticks, power granola bars, trail mix and nuts, puzzle books, and card games. And then there's collection bins located at the Maple Grove Community Center, the Osseo Maple Grove Legion, and St. Joseph the Worker Church down there on Hemlock. And then this is coming up pretty quick, but donations are accepted through Monday, November 11th, and then they'll be getting those packages off to service members for the holidays.
Yeah, hope people can get involved. So that's the wrap of the meeting from the 4th. Again, about 13 minutes in length. Let's talk about some other things happening in the city. We mentioned some businesses a moment ago, but another business that is up and running and apparently beginning to be popular.
Yeah, so I was over there for this ribbon cutting and partook of some of the goodies there. So they have lots of great things. Tous Les Jours is a new bakery over at the Shops at Arbor Lakes. It's kind of on that north-facing, kind of over where the vacuum store is, and Rojo, that side. Great addition to town. They have lots of fresh baked pastries, breads, cakes. This is their second location. They do have one in Richfield. So wildly popular, very busy that day. So similar to like Paris Baguette, that type of store that's over kind of off of Elm Creek Boulevard, but nice to have another addition here. They also have great coffee and drinks and those types of things, which we've, long wanted, kind of that coffee shop over at the Shops at Arbor Lake. So I think this hits kind of both of those. So very excited to have them in town, and congratulations on opening this new location here.
Good. Welcome to the business. A reminder here from Maple Grove Police as we step into the holiday season to lock up those vehicles.
Yeah, just a reminder here, as you're leaving vehicles out, they just can become an opportunity for folks who are circling through the neighborhood for not so good reasons. And I know personally, having college students come home and extra cars at my house with teenagers as well, sometimes things get left out overnight and not locked up. So just as a reminder, heading into the holidays, those college kids will be coming home, high school kids around a little bit more. Lock those vehicles up if they're outside, and keep those service doors to your garage locked up.
Weather has caused a little bit of a challenge for people getting the leaves off of their lawn. A little snow, a little rain, but there's still time to do it. Maybe it'll clear up and you've got the site to take care of that.
Yeah, so Yard Waste site will be open here through the end of November. Looks like the weather for the next couple weeks is going to dry up here, so hopefully folks can get those last things cleaned up. And just as a reminder, I think sometimes in other communities, maybe, that service might be provided that you put things out to the street, leaves, those types of things, and the city picks it up. That's not the case here in Maple Grove. We provide a yard waste site, so you can't rake your leaves into the street. That's going to be a problem for you. So it's against city ordinance here in Maple Grove. So we've had a few issues with that. And so we really do ask for folks to just, keep that stuff out of the street. Just a reminder, what gets left in the street ends up in the storm drains, ends up in the lakes and streams and that type of thing. So yard waste site, free for Maple Grove residents. Just bring your ID. And again, that's open through the end of November. mgyardwaste.com for their hours and details about what they accept.
Very good. Let's talk way into the next year. Some very advanced notice here about organics recycling. We've talked some about it in the process moving to this point, but look ahead to January. What's coming? Yeah,
so this has kind of been a number of different steps in this process, moving us towards the city and incorporating organics recycling into our recycling program. But it really started kind of with Hennepin County mandating that every city in the county have an organics recycling program.
Right.
And it started out, that we could require our haulers to do that, and so that was a step that we took. And then there was some clarification from the MPCA from the state about state statute that, similar to recycling, whether you participate or not, everyone has to be charged for that service. Right. And what we found was then with the private haulers doing that service, it was a little bit all over the board in terms of how the service was being provided, what the fee was. And it felt like there was probably an opportunity here to bring this into the recycling program, manage it similarly how we do regular recycling, and an opportunity to bring that fee down and make it the same across the board for everybody. So we worked with Republic Services over the last year. We needed to renegotiate our recycling contract, and then worked with them to establish the organics as part of that. So we'll be making that transition here as we move into the new year. If you're currently participating in organics recycling with your hauler, you should have received some communication from us. Good. If you haven't, give a reach out to our engineering department and talk with our staff there to help you out with that. But we know this is going to be a period of transition. We ask for your patience as we start to roll out this new program here in Maple Grove. But we do think it'll streamline things a bit, as well as make for a reduced cost and make that across the board the same for folks. So long story here, but this is kind of the last, hopefully, step to kind of get that situated for Maple Grove.
All right, more information on the city's website, maplegrovemn.gov. You can find out all about recycling and organics as well. All right, to the community center we go. Some events coming up, but also a great opportunity to get a good deal for membership. How does that work?
Yeah, so we have membership sale through November 7th, so that's coming up pretty quick here.
Yes.
But we've talked about it a few times.
Right.
But sale offers 10% off rates. We have 3 different packages: all building, the pools only, and then just pickleball. So you can purchase online on the website there, or you can also just go in person at the community center and pick one of those 3 packages and get 10% off through November 7th.
Great. Community Center also the site now of the indoor farmers market, and the 7th is also a day for them as well.
Yep.
So get out and do some holiday shopping. Again, remind us the hours for that group.
Yeah, so this will be tomorrow, November 7th. We'll have our next indoor farmers market. We also have one coming up on Tuesday the 19th, so ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday. Hours are 3 to 6 p.m. for that indoor market, and we do get about 20 or so vendors for that, and they have lots of good items heading into the holiday season. So encourage people to get out to the community center for that. And just note, construction continues over there.
Right.
So some changes in terms of some parking not available kind of in those south lots. So might be a little bit busier. You might have to go to that west side a little bit, but know that the building's accessible, available to you even during this time of construction.
Here's another opportunity to do some holiday shopping at the community center thanks to a couple local groups. Who's putting a special event on?
Yeah, so the Maple Grove Lions and the Maple Grove Seniors are hosting their annual craft boutique, and that's this coming Saturday, November 9th from 9 to 4 at the community center. Lots of items for holiday decorating and gift giving there, and appreciate the Lions and the Maple Grove Seniors coming together to make that event happen for the community.
Here is a new event coming up. Might get you out after some turkey to run, or maybe you run before the turkey, right? Is that how it works? Tell us about who's behind this event, what's going on.
Yeah, Experience Maple Grove is hosting its first ever 5K fun run on Thanksgiving Day. This is very popular. There's lots of turkey trots all over the metro area.
Right.
So, but nothing really up here in the Northwest area. So I think this is a nice addition for folks that are up this way. Participants receive a turkey trot 5K t-shirt and coupons from several local businesses. This is going to start at the Pheno Pavilion at Central Park, and then it's a loop in and around the Central Park area. Registration and more information is available at experiencemaplegrove.com, but a great way to start your Thanksgiving Day here in Maple Grove.
All right, get out there and do a little running or walking if you'd like to as well. Final note to pass along, let's look ahead to December and a great annual event coming up.
Yeah, so our Angel of Hope Candlelight Memorial takes place every year on December 6th at 7 p.m. up at the Maple Grove Arboretum, the Angel of Hope Memorial up there. Throughout the country, these Angel of Hope memorials, this happens on the same day every year. So Friday, December 6th at 7 p.m. we'll be up at the Arboretum for the Angel of Hope, and encourage everybody to join us.
Very good. All right, a lot of information passed along. Heidi, thanks for all of the information.
Of course.
And go get some sleep here, and your staff as well after the long night last night. Let's leave you with information about the next meeting, and also, again, the city's website. You can find some election results and a lot of information there, maplegrovemn.gov. And the next meeting again on Monday, November 18th, 7:30 at the Government Center. Thanks for joining us once again for the City of Maple Grove Report.